let's get to the nitty gritty, man. So where do we go first? We go Katt Williams. Let's get that out of the way. We don't gotta go too deep into it. It's been the bomb heard around the world. Mm-hmm. I just know where I was. I like journaling what happened as it was happening, and I also like being like first on shit sometimes. Mm-hmm. Not even first because people, but just like before it like made wildfire. Like I saw the first little flame, and I was just sitting because I was home. I was working from home one day, and I subscribe to a lot of YouTube. YouTube is really probably most of my viewing pleasure.
That's your social.
That's my shit. And, they need a recap of that. Fuck Spotify. Like I need a YouTube recap for real. So I'm like, I see the Club Shay Shay premiere. I see the red line. I see it's going on. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait till it end type of nigga. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch the premiere. Let it finish and I'll go back to it. Mm-hmm. So I'm going through my YouTube and I'm like, I keep going back to like the menu page. I'm like, damn, it's still going. It's still premiering. I keep refreshing. I'm like, it's a long episode. Shit. And then it finally finished. I clicked on it, and not even 5 minutes. Cause I'm just sitting down in my chair. I'm like, I just finished work now because I'm just like, it's been so long. I'm waiting, and I didn't know what to expect. I fuck with Katt Williams. My man AJ, that's been his man since forever. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I know what to expect, but I'm like, I like Club Shay Shay. I tune in. I like the interviews. I like the long ass couch. I like the little, you can't be comfortable on the couch. But I like it.
I love him.
It's for the aesthetic. I get it. Little cognac. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I tune in. I'm a multitasker, so I'm typing, looking at it. I'm like, all right, 5 minutes go by. I'm like, what the fuck you just said?
Mm-hmm. It was like he came straight out the gate.
I said, oh shit, who the fuck? Ricky Smiley? What he did?
He was out the gate with it.
But I like to also like look at it in retrospective too. But like, that the first name means something. Mm-hmm. That's the first name you assaulted. Mm-hmm. It's Ricky Smiley saying, and some stuff we could improve. But I want to say that because he's funny, and I forget. I think it was Kev on Stage and that chick Angel, which I like their podcast as well. And it was like that man wasn't telling no jokes. He was just funny, and I'm like, that's fucking hard to do. Like he wasn't telling no jokes. He was just funny, and I'm like. The Ricky Smiley thing, it caught a stray real quick, and I was just like, I believe Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, all this stuff. Like, I believe 85% of what he said. There's definitely some sauce on that shit. Like, I know people grabbing the whole 3,000 books a year thing, and I'm just like, dog, that wasn't the most impressive thing that I heard.
But why throw? This was my thing. If most of what you're saying was right, because a lot of people are standing behind him saying
a lot of people
it's right. Like
they checking it like, yep, checks,
like
checks,
literally,
checks.
right?
Yeah.
Why throw in stuff like that?
What you mean?
Why are you throwing in that you read 3,000 books if you're telling a bunch of truths?
I think that's the entertaining side of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Like when you started doing like the Ludacris and me look alike, whatever thing, and the only difference is that he in Illuminati and 10 movies, $10 million, like blah blah. I'm like, because it started getting like. I think that's the fun part about it, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Like, I like to throw a little bullshit in there, a little paprika with the fucking steak in there.
Right.
Like, you gonna get fed, but I'm gonna throw some shit. I'll let you decide.
Cause like figure out what's real.
Because started the joke is like, the Illuminati, blah blah. Only thing I like him, he kept doing this. I ain't like him doing this. I know he said he ain't do no drugs, nothing like that. But like this right here, I don't know what that is. Nerves or whatever it is.
It could be nerves. I feel like when people do that, it's nerves. Yeah, you're wiping the sweat off your.
Like you saying some shit right now.
What if that's what I was saying? What if he really was nervous because he was like letting the cat out that
go,
bag.
And I'm like,
no pun intended.
That was pretty good.
Literally.
Yeah, I was like, I'm like this. And I've checked that a couple times. I'm like, damn, you still going? But I have a long attention span. I'm gonna listen to this whole thing. People were giving shout out to my man Lawrence Bass, he editor in chief at Double SL. Well, I'm giving him a whole title he didn't have, but he brought me up to Double SL once upon a time when I was really in my journalism bag and trying to. And it's funny you say nerve. I'll go to a job that I don't give a fuck about, and I will kill that interview because I don't care about it.
Right.
But if it's something you want, you get a little nervous.
Right.
And I was nervous at Double XL, and I was a younger, 2010, I was younger.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. It's fucking crazy me even sitting there right now. It's 14 fucking years ago. So,
kid.
and I'm up there, no job, out of school. I really want this Double XL. I want to be next to music. This is my heart. Talked to Vanessa Satin. I didn't love her because she really give me the greatest energy. So it's always on site for her to this day.
Damn.
But to this day. But he brought me up there. So and then he got let go. Whatever. It always sucks too when you get brought up and then they let go and they call me back like, hey, the interview. I'm like, oh, second one. Like, oh, you was here before? I'm like, you son of a bitch. So
yeah.
But anyway, long story short, that's my man. Follow me on Facebook, whatever. He's always posting my shit, whatever. I appreciate. And he said something like, yo, at the very least, this interview exposed real interviewers. And like, people are giving him shit. Because there are times where like, damn, this is kind of good. Where you doing your thing, you getting better at something that's not football. You done left. You got let go from FS1 with skipping them. You messing with Stephen A now, and now you just doing your own thing. It's commendable. But I didn't like when he was like, yo, I take everybody's word at face value. And I'm like, that's not a good journalism technique. Like, and I'm like, maybe I do the same thing. I could be a hypocrite, but I'm just like, you got to do your story.
I feel like he was in a place. I
feel like
he didn't. And again, just like circling back to what we were just saying, I think you have to be really mindful of how you do stuff. And I think if I was him in that moment, I would know. All right, I want him to keep talking because this is gonna get my views.
This is it.
Keep going.
Yeah.
But also, he just had Steve Harvey on his show, so he probably was trying not to cross certain, boundaries. From his mouth, because then it's like, and then you might cut relationships with people who you actually could benefit from or did or whatever the case may be. So I feel like he was in a really weird place. So even if he did know what to say and was prepared, I feel like it ain't much you can really do in that moment.
Some
because
of my friends. My friends. I know these people.
Yeah, and at the end of he said that, like, you could tell he was uncomfortable. I love that
he's so okay. He's like, I ain't never gonna get these people back in here again. Cat's like, of course you will.
Yes, he said they want to set the record straight. Once we see
rushing right now. They go on your phone right now.
Yeah, a place of truth, Cat. Yeah, you really going.
It was off the rails when the producer started speaking. Because the producer's in the background like, hey, you said the Kings of Comedy, you said 2018. I just want to make sure that came in 2000. I'm like, it was a bullshit correction, but he wanted to say something. He wouldn't like,
but he circled back.
Yeah,
because he was like, you're right. It was
like, if I said the date wrong, then I apologize.
Did you watch that whole interview? Yep. That interview was so long. I was like,
that's why I knew it, and I'm like, that's why I enjoy talking about like just catching a real time, because I'm just like. Oh, I'm looking at viral right now.
Oh yeah,
I knew it in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I saw 2 million in 20 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, it's going
crazy,
down.
The stuff he was saying, and then the
it's like when I first heard Good Kid, Mad City. I'm like, oh, this is a classic.
Oh yeah, like immediately,
like
this is gonna go down.
So I'm like, it's going. Katt Williams set the record, the tone. He's like, I done seen a lot of interviews on the show now. Listen. I've been watching them things, and I took my receipts, So I mean, and it's funny because I've been saying this for a long time. I love the Steve Harvey show. We saw this, and then we saw nothing. So I'm like, when did it go from here to nothing? I'm like, is there? I try to look up. I'm pretty good at Google. I'm pretty good at looking for things. I couldn't find no baby picture of that nigga. I'll try to find a baby picture, teenage picture of Steve Harvey. Can't find nothing. It's scrubbed.
I thought I've seen him as a young man. Yeah, that's probably before. It was before Professor Hightower.
I gotta find. I mean, and the thing is, I like the whole Steve Harvey show, Hang with Mr. Cooper thing. That was interesting.
Upset me.
I was like, that is your show.
Because I loved it.
Cause I love Steve Harvey show.
I was like, you might be a little too. You remember Hanging with Mr. Cooper?
No.
That was my show, but it literally, like, when you think back on it,
if you think the big ass suits, he was just a gym coach, gym teacher, while Steve Harvey was whatever teacher he was, music teacher. And the insult to injury, Vicky, if you really even think about it, you remember the group they had on there, like the High Tops or whatever it was called on the show. Do you remember like the people that was in the band? Like I think he was beefing with,
because he was
He's beefing with one of the people on the show, like in the band. It's fictional. What I'm talking about, but like
you talking about on the Cooper show?
No, on Steve Harvey show.
Oh, because I was
like the hot, like the Four Tops with the Hot Tops, whatever. Like the hot. I think they had a
because he was in a band. Yeah.
And there was one guy that he had like a problem with, whatever. Like they had to like reignite before they, get everything together. He looked just like Mark Curry.
Oh, yeah. And I feel bad because Mark Curry, hanging with Mr. Cooper was such a hit, and I feel like his career did kind of take
I've seen interviews with Mark Curry talking shit about Steve too. He's like, no, I don't know what problem he got, but he's taking my jokes.
Yeah, I want to say this though about the taking the jokes.
That's a real thing.
The Katt Williams gasoline thing. I just want to say, I feel and felt bamboozled because I saw Steve Harvey perform that joke. Before I ever saw Katt perform that joke. Yeah. And I don't know. It just might have been like my age. And
what
when
hurt you more? Was it that or was it the Cedric the Entertainer joke? Because I think we remember that Kings of Comedy, that spaceship parallel parking. Even when we had a space, we over at parallel park, we turned the music down.
I feel like for me personally, it was the Steve Harvey thing because I really felt like that was Steve's joke. And at 32 years old, I remembered hearing that joke. I remember it as a joke. I think about it as a joke when I pump my gas. And then for it to be like Katt's joke the whole time, that to me personally, it pissed me off because it was like, oh, this and I think
there's truth to that kind of stuff where like real niggas don't get the shine.
Yeah.
It's you play the game, you play it right, you look the piece. Milli Vanilli. Like real niggas don't get the shine,
They're gonna take it.
And I think that it's funny, shout out my girl Melody, whatever, she was like, yo, not said. Come on, don't do that to said. Like everybody loves he a big teddy bear, and I'm like, yo, it getting work. And I fuck with Cedric the Entertainer. But he's like, he don't write jokes. He's like, this is my poor impersonation of
Katt
of Kyle Williams. Cedric the Entertainer does not write jokes. He does not, he
on point.
He did four specials on. Is that on Tubi or on Netflix? Let me say that again. Is that on Netflix or on Tubi?
It's so real.
Yeah, they're just doing this the whole time, just
the whole time.
And shout out to again Kevin on Stage. I like to give credit when the credit's due. Podcast Kevin on Stage. Here's the thing, that chick Angel. I don't enjoy calling people stupid.
Sometimes it must be done.
Sometimes it must be done, but I'm like, I give grace. I'm like, let's see what you're gonna do.
Right.
And there was a moment where I caught it, but I let it go, and then they brought it up, and that chick Angel was like, "Yo, this nigga Katt called Shannon Sharp ugly in real time," and I was like, "He did do that
because of the Jonathan Majors situation."
Dog, I heard that, and Kevin's funny. He was like, "Yo." He saw the joke. It's like Shannon Sharp saw the joke coming the whole time, and it was like, nope.
It's like
he said, since when has a wide nose monkey looking nigga that played for the Broncos? I mean, he
looked like my daddy. He said that played for right. And Shannon's like,
I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. He is ugly. I'm like, he looked like you, nigga.
I mean,
and my mom was like, he ain't never been good looking. She's like, I don't know what y'all seeing in Jonathan Majors. The muscles,
it was never for me.
It wasn't for you. Okay.
No, I didn't. And it's not. I saw. See, this is the power of marketing. This is the power of like making someone be what you want them to be.
You know
it. That's what it was. I was never personally attracted to him, but I could see how the Creed thing and
they call Bob Saget America's dad. We didn't know he was dirty like that.
No, we didn't. And I just saw a viral clip of that yesterday, and I'm
really?
like, when they were trashing each other on the what's it called when they're on stage?
Stand up?
No,
like a roast.
Yes, the
roast. Okay.
The roast, and they were like cracking all these jokes about his pedophilia, and I'm like, damn! But they will make a person be exactly what they want you to believe them to be.
You gotta watch Dark Side of Comedy, dog. You ever heard of that? Man, it goes through like real life comedians' lives. It's like ups and downs, turmoil and stuff like that. Everybody was fucked. Everybody got fucked up shit going on. Yeah. Even Andrew Dice Clay, like I didn't even know like his whole bit was clean before it became like the hey yo like that. Andrew Dice Clay is right.
I'm a face person.
in black leather jacket, got the, he's always talking hickory dickory, like the
hickory dickory.
Yeah, he just be talking mad reckless. But anyway, Carl Mencia was on there too. You remember him?
You gotta show me pictures.
I mean, there's a reason why I'll put up. It's a reason why you don't remember this motherfucker, because he stole jokes too. And Joe Rogan, he's the one that put it on. Like, he went on stage with him. They was going back and forth like, you stole jokes, you stole my whole routine, blah blah, whatever, and
bar for bar, flow for flow.
and you never I'm missing all these, but
Soulja Boy.
Oh yeah, it's all Dre. Yeah, stole my own flow. Kiss me through the phone.
It's true though.
But and it's funny you bring up Soulja Boy, because like there is a level of Katt Williams, like those kind of people are very eccentric, but they not lying.
No,
they're not lying.
Katt's always been funny to me though. I think Katt has always been, you can tell he's just funny by the way that he is. He's going to just flat out say what he has to say. But I think
that's why it caught so much fire, because like you said names, you got receipts, you said pull it up if I enjoy. I mean, some stuff you can't. Shout out again that you're getting true. Like some stuff you can't verify. Like, all right, you say you ain't gonna do a movie with Ricky Smiley unless he in a dress. We talking about First Sunday. He in a dress, but how do we verify that he probably was already gonna wear a dress? You just happened to be in one movie with him, and it was I like the Faison Love Smoke.
Fat Faison liar.
He said, what movie? You got a second movie. He was good in the movie. You should have been next movie, right? Right?
Come on.
He's like, why not the second movie?
Big Worm was good. Was good. Shannon, shut up.
Come on, man. Big Worm. Come on, Katt. Come on, Katt.
He just wanted him to say something nice so bad.
And then he was I will give him some grace, because he was in a hard position. Yeah. He kept trying to go back to his notes. His notes did no longer matter.
No, it didn't.
Katt
said, I'm running this show.
People said, all Shannon said was hello. Katt was like, Steve Harvey's not funny. He didn't write a joke. Kevin Hart's shorter than me.
It was literally like when I cut it on when I was cooking dinner, and I cut it on, and I was like,
I do believe the Kevin Hart slander. I feel like he's just I do believe he's bitter on that. I believe everything. I believe 85% of everything else, but I believe he's just bitter with the Kevin Hart stuff.
I love Kevin Hart so much. Like, I think he's I've
what
seen
Negro
him live
is in Los Angeles and Philadelphia at the same time?
Yeah,
it can't happen. It did not happen. It didn't happen.
It can't happen.
It didn't happen.
But the thing is, I think, like you said, I think he's bitter, and I think he's mad because he feels like Kevin Hart isn't as funny as he is, but Kevin Hart is got a lot, but it also has to do with how he carries himself.
And let me be clear. I should have said to beginning. Like, my mom, she sent me all the stuff. Like I don't have the internet. She sent me all the stuff too, and she's like, oh, Kevin Hart said something. Oh, Ricky Smiley said something. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Guess what? Guess what? He struck the match. He won.
Yeah, he did.
I don't care what they say. And the thing is, I've heard some of the Kevin. I've heard the Kevin Hart was on the basketball. Club? No, he was doing
the
like
commentary
during the basketball game, whatever. And it wasn't funny. It was like crickets.
It was like,
I was like, wow.
Was the him and his
really?
crew. Yeah, like it was like he was trying to like
and his crew was doing the jokes for him.
Right, and people were saying that in the comments, like, like this isn't even that funny. But part of me felt like, oh, y'all are just kind of riding the Katt Williams wave right now. How many of y'all are really Katt Williams fans over top of Kevin Hart before this interview happened?
I would say that if it was like a Jay Farrell speaking or something like that, you don't got the same leg to stand on. Katt, American Pimp Chronicles, all that kind of stuff.
He's hilarious. He
been
sing.
there. You got fucking the Rick Ross, like it's comical stuff that you remember.
I
remember him on Atlanta just running down the street, Alligator Man.
Oh yeah, I seen that clip the other day.
Like
he's
and it's easy to
hilarious.
Say, and that's why I also was mad at Shannon Sharp, because I'm like, dog, you have a lot of ammo if you want to use it. Like, what about the kid beating you up? What about that? Remember you got choked out on the playground, 17-year-old boy, where you was fighting with him?
But I guess he didn't want to make an enemy out of Katt, because clearly.
Or it's just
touche.
Or it comes down to like simple journalism. Like, I think he really was caught off guard, and in that moment, you just sit there and let it ride out.
Trying to shape it and mold it to be something not so bad on you.
But they would say, he was catching stuff like super late though. Like, it wasn't like he was moving at too much of fast pace for Shannon.
Yeah, he was just going.
Like, he said something about alcohol
don't fuel me. Nigga, you sure?
He said fans in love like 15 minutes ago. He's like, yo, wait a minute.
Shannon's show doesn't even take those turns for real. Because if I watched the Steve Harvey interview, like it was, I don't even
remember the Steve Harvey interview like that.
It wasn't entertaining, but it was more so.
I remember
for
Ricky
me,
Smiley.
it just kind of like came on after I was watching.
Yeah, because Ricky Smiley sounded bitter when I heard him. Because I remember him on the show too.
I mean, because he's another one, like his career. Like even if I was Steve Harvey in this situation, you could have said all that shit about me, but Steve Harvey is rich, filthy rich.
That's Carl Messia, by the way.
Who's
remember him?
Barely,
Okay, good.
And because but like that's the thing.
He did big up Ice Cube. He bigged up Dave Chappelle.
And Ice Cube backed him up.
Yeah, he sure enough did.
On a lot of especially the movie.
And it's so funny because the last episode on this podcast we were talking about behind the scenes, we were talking about Friday After Next, and I just never thought it was the most funniest movie. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at it by any means, but I just think it was like I still next Friday is neck and neck for Friday for me. Cause next Friday was like that just had look at my roof. Mm-hmm. they tins though, they keep them clean. The fucking pinky in the shop. Like, come on, say another motherfucking word.
I just feel like I guess when I think of it, I just think of it like as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I guess I'm not comparing the movies, but I don't know. I just need to know. Do y'all believe the Illuminati thing?
I don't know if I would. It's kind of like Detox.
Yeah,
like Dr. Dre Detox, like it's like you called it something else at some point. Like, I don't know if it's called Illuminati, but something that does happen in Hollywood. That's weird.
That's why I said something.
Because I believe the black comedian dress thing.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm mad that Martin caught that venom.
Me too.
And
he's been like laying low.
He didn't have to do it. He's like, get Brendan T. Jackson to do it. He's like, well, he got Brendan T. Jackson to do it. Mm-hmm. Or Jesse Williams, whatever it was.
Yeah, no, it's true. I don't like that. It's almost like you gotta make a strong black man look
bow down.
Yeah, and I don't like the trending pattern.
I hate the comparison of like, white actors do it all the time. It's like they could do what the fuck they want to do. It's different. It's not the same.
The truth. It's just it's unfortunate, but it's still a true statement. It's different because it's been white superstar
actors. I do believe you
forever.
Do some weird shit to get ahead, though.
Yeah,
I believe that part.
I hate that. I really do hate that. But the Kevin Hart thing, I did want to say this one because I am a fan of Kevin Hart and Katt Williams, but I think his hard work is undeniable. Mm-hmm. So at the end, that's why I was going to say I do agree with Katt maybe a little bitter because I don't know. He worked.
Definitely there's some bitterness there, but I think there's something when you feel like someone kind of steals your shtick. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? And I feel like that was like the Nicki Cardi thing where it was like Cardi B was coming in and getting all the accolades that Nicki Minaj was putting the talent into. Okay. It wasn't getting it. So it's hard to now sit on the sidelines knowing you're deserving of that. And someone who may not be as funny, who's kind of doing your shtick, but maybe just a little bit more commercial, is getting everything that is yours. Like, I think that's where that comes from. And I get I would be bitter about that too. Like, this is mine. Like, that's supposed to be mine. And here come you just taking what I gave you and building off of that. So,
that's
I can see that.
I get that.
It is. I mean, but he. It's kind of like that, but also he gives credit to the young comedians too. Like
he does.
I love DC Young Fly. He's like, I love Jess Hilarious. Like he bigged them up.
I love that he called out people by name. Like it wasn't like then people are coming out and people are coming out and they're like, no, like legit, he took me here, and people are coming out the woodworks like, nah, like I didn't get paid for this, and he just gave me $150,000. Like
but we did look at him like, yo, you a little out there. Like the public perception was like, you might be on drugs. You might be out here over fighting little kids. Like, we don't know what's going on. But I love the explanation. I'm like, dog, I got to add a gun on me. They call me with a gun. You think I'm not going to protect my life? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to get caught again. Mm-hmm. Like, I like that kind of, like, that kind of feel, like, that kind of vibe. Like, I wasn't being reckless. I'm going to get caught again.
Yeah.
The biggest quote. Life. There's a lot of memes in this this whole interview. But the biggest quote was, that I gotta get that sort
We're
of.
gonna be doing this the whole episode.
That sort of allegiance to losers is not.
That was wild.
Your allegiance to losers does not
dignify you.
Listen. People gonna be using that forever.
That was the one right there. The double sip too.
Okay. Listen, that was a very entertaining interview. And I mean, I know all of it wasn't light for Shannon, but I know he is going to have some good
I want to see
feature.
when he bounces back, like what he bounces back with.
Like the person.
What's the next one? How long do you let this sit? Because this shit still catching fire. Like,
how often does he put out videos?
He does it weekly.
Yeah,
but he has like clips in this. But they was ready for them clips because he be clipping up throughout the week. They had them shits ready. They had the whole 30-minute gap of him talking about everybody. Then it was like, all right, 10 minutes on DL Hughley, 10 minutes on Dave, 10 minutes on Steve. Like he was doing the thing. Speaking of doing the thing, Gypsy Rose.